Oh, okay. So essentially, even if no matter what time they spend it in the year, they can still eventually write it off, like on their taxes.
Okay, so if we increase taxes, but they're not even gonna pay like that big of a percentage if they just invest it all, what was raising the taxes do at all?
Well, ideally, there's a specific amount that they're still like they still have to. Oh, I got suspended from going live. What the hell?
Oh, we both got suspended.
I got suspended from going live.
I got age restricted. Are you age restricted too?
I believe so.
Okay, well that's great.
But even if they're obviously like under like a socialist state, there would be like obviously no companies, but still like under this capitalist idea that we would just raise the corporate tax rate and everything would be fine and dandy. Um, there would still probably be an allocated amount that they would have to pay in taxes.
Yeah, we're already in a crazy amount of debt. I don't think we can afford that at all. Even then, like with healthcare, I like it more privatized because I think it'd be ran better if it's privatized, and we can't even afford it right now. We can't even afford not privatized healthcare, socialized healthcare because it would be just too much money that we can't afford. Too many people, right? I'm not denying that it can't work for like a country like Denmark, right? Small country. It's different here, 300 million people, and plus the overwhelming immigrants coming in, so it's a growing population. We cannot afford socialized healthcare. It's just not possible. All right. We'll drive ourselves. I can't even hear you.
You can't?
Okay, now all right. Were you speaking?
No, I wasn't.
Okay. Like it'll put us even more in debt. We're already spending too much money. We have to cut spending for a lot more stuff now, right? Perhaps even welfare now, which it's not really possible to do that without going to more debt, even if we raise the taxes like by a little bit.
Well, if we just obviously if we just raise the taxes on billionaires too, that would help a lot.
You want a wealth tax for being rich?
Or like inheritance tax ideally.
Why should we take their money if they just inherited it?
Like obviously not for like people who are inheriting like $20,000, but like
No,
people who are inheriting millions and millions of
but
dollars.
why they worked hard for that money, all right? They took a risk, their family took a risk. Why should we take their money?
No, it's not. I mean, sure, you could say taxation is like
It is literally
taking their
that.
money,
It's literally
but
taking
I
their
don't
money.
think. Well,
Take their
okay,
money.
but like inheritance tax or like capital gains tax.
Capital gains tax is really high here too. But like why I mean, how much would you
We
tax?
don't have. Does the U.S. have a?
Yeah, we have a 30 it's really high capital gains tax, really high.
I didn't look into that.
It's like
Does it?
30 and if you hold your stock for less than a year, it's like 37% or something like that. Or hold your investment for less than
Oh, that's if you. No, I mean
that's capital gains tax.
like when you sell it. Oh,
Yeah, when you sell, that's what you get taxed on.
yeah.
When you sell the thing, that's when you get taxed on. So if you hold your
No, I'm aware. I just thought you were referring to like
oh,
the.
it's high. It's
Okay.
really high. It's really high. All right.
What is it?
36
It's 20%
for how long? Like
at the
what?
max.
No, I don't think that's true. Wait.
If it's
I
over
saw
six
37%.
hundred thousand,
I saw
that's
20%.
married filing jointly, and if it's over 533,000, that's 20%. If you're single and you're not married,
Let me check. Capital gains tax percentage. Where'd you get that from?
that was just the thing that came up on AI
Yeah,
overview.
the
Let me
long term.
find
Oh,
the
yeah,
actual.
short-term stocks right here. You're not looking at short-term stocks in Investopedia. Short-term stocks is like 10 to 37%. So that's and if you hold a stock for a long-term stock, it's 15 to 20%. It could be zero too, right?
So, but isn't that just motivating people to
Invest less.
in no, if it's well, if the capital gains tax is lower the longer you hold the stock or whatever you're holding, then isn't that just promoting people to have more money and sell later, and when they sell
Well,
the
actually,
stock will be worth more?
if you lower the capital gains tax from 15 to like 10%, more people will actually invest more for long term because they're getting taxed less overall, right? That's just basic, right? It's
So if is but isn't investing long term better for the economy in a capitalist nation?
yes, and I mean, it depends, right? It depends what you're
Yeah,
investing.
yeah, it is.
It depends where you're investing, right? I mean,
Well, no, because if the company is
the company's going down. If you want, and most people that do
well,
long term investing, the S&P 500 or something like
yeah,
that. So that's a
or
good
like
long. That's
yeah,
good for the economy because a whole bunch of companies are getting money to spend, right? And you're making money on top of that, right?
right, exactly. So wouldn't a higher even if we had like a higher capital gains tax, wouldn't that just incentivize people to invest in more
No,
long term stocks like the S&P 500?
are you saying short term or long term tax?
Like if we had no, I'm saying like if we had a higher short term gains tax, wouldn't that A give the government more revenue
It's not even just
and
stocks.
it would
It's not even just stocks.
wouldn't
Like
that
other stuff, any investment. So it's like I'm trying to think about investment like gold, right? I mean, gold's a long term investment, but I'm just trying to think of something like that, like an NFT. Just say NFT when NFT is very huge, right? That's an asset, right? And if you sell it with less than a year, that's 37%, depending on how like long how big that is. That's a lot. That's a lot of money they're taking out, and that actually hurts short term. And it hurts investing, right? If you lower it both, investing overall just goes up, right?
well, no, I
If
mean,
if you want
yeah, but
if you
wouldn't you want people investing in long-term stocks like the S&P 500 more than they would just like doing day trading?
oh, both are good.
Both are good, but day trading doesn't wouldn't make the US government like
Yeah, it
but
would.
even then
Yeah,
people are still going to day trade
consumer
even if
spending.
there's a capital like a shorter capital gains tax.
Well, people work around that. People are either work if you raise the taxes too much. You saw in the 1950s, for example, where they had like a high taxes on everything, right? People are just gonna find loopholes, or one, or two, they're just not gonna invest, or they're gonna they're not gonna invest in short term. So that means it's not a horrible thing, but I wouldn't want to raise it because, for example, day traders, right? $1 million people that make $1 million on day trading, for example, right? They help the economy because they're spending a lot of money, right? That helps the economy a lot, right? Helps the government a lot, right? That's why we should lower it so more people can make money on stocks and investment.
I suppose, but you could also just say the same thing.
That's
Uh
factually proven. That's factually proven. I mean, dude, that's factual. That's literally factually proven. I mean, I could give you like three studies that where they lowered taxes and either spending goes up, investment goes up, stuff like that goes up.
yeah, but if spending goes up, that's
That's a good. That's a
even if
great thing.
spending goes up, that's just still furthering more like
That's a great thing.
demand. That's still more demand, but you're getting more supply, and that's more like exploitation.
Wait, so you're saying consumer spending doesn't help the economy?
Consumer spending obviously does help the economy in capitalism, but consumer spending, under my definition, like in capitalism, like consumer spending isn't good for people because I
How?
think consumerism as a whole is just not good because there's no such thing as ethical consumption under capitalism.
Okay, explain more. Explain.
You every single good that you can consume in capitalism is somehow tied to exploitation because any act of simply extracting surplus value from somebody's labor is exploitation.
Okay. So
Anything made with human labor is not ethically consumed.
okay.
Under
So
in a
what
capitalist
if I make
society,
a shirt? What if I make a shirt? Right. I make a shirt. I sell it. Right. I made a shirt hand for hand. Right. I sell it. Right. Is that exploitation?
is that exploitation?
Yeah, that's right by your definition. Yeah, you said that any labor.
Well, if you're owning your own means of production,
No, no, no. I make right. I make a shirt right, and I sell it.
right? But how? Okay, but how do you make the shirt?
And then I like sew. I guess I don't know how to make a shirt. I just I make a
Do
shirt.
you know how to?
Just say I
Do
did.
you?
No,
Did you? Unless you,
it's hypothetical.
literally,
It's hypothetical.
here's how it works. Here's how it works. Unless you made your own sewing needle by hand, picked your own cotton, milled the cotton with a machine you made by yourself, and then knit the shirt by hand, that is not ethical consumption.
Well, yeah, but then the people that made it make money. The people that make it that make money, and in all ways of the board, right? They make and everyone makes money.
End of the day, there's
Everyone makes
always
money.
going to be at the end of the day, there's always going to be the extraction of surplus value for labor, and that's exploitation.
So
Because I believe that uh if somebody is laboring at their job or whatever they're doing, I believe that they should see all the fruits of that labor. Because whether it be through they pay taxes to the government and then they see benefits from that, or they just get their basic needs.
why don't you just lower taxes for them and then they get more money to take home and spend it and have a better life and they have less of a burden from taxes?
As for them, then what's the government gonna do?
In our current tax system, everyone's pretty much working 3 months of their life to the government.
If you lower taxes for the poorest people, then what is the government gonna do without that money unless you're raising taxes on the top 1%?
If you lower taxes on everybody, from like just say, okay, I like a flat tax, but 10 to 30%.
No, you can't just in a capitalist system. You can't just lower taxes on everybody.
No, you literally. I mean, yes and no. Trump did it. Trump the Tax Cut and Jobs Act did it. Yeah, it did. It did.
Well, Trump lowered taxes for
everybody.
No, Trump lowered the corporate tax rate.
No,
mostly.
He lowered everybody's. Everybody's taxes went down.
Well, yeah, but then we had a higher national debt.
Well, that's just because of spending. I mean, we still made actually maybe more than what we made under.
Well, Trump spent more in his first term than Biden and Harris ever did.
But that's just spending in general. We spend we're never gonna make $6 trillion. Like even how much should we raise taxes? We're never gonna make $6 trillion ever. Right now, for even
the U.S. government is never gonna just make $27 trillion appear out of thin air. We're never gonna get rid of our national debt.
If lowering taxes helps the American people more than burdening these people with taxes, right? I mean, do you want?
No, I'm saying we should. I'm saying we should burden the people who have enough money. I'm saying we should burden the people with taxes. The people who have enough money to buy 27 super yachts. I think we should. I think we should tax those people as much as possible.
Dude, they already pay 40%. The top 1% pays 40% of the federal income tax.
The top one.
That's
Okay.
IRS data.
Make them pay 90.
Why? They worked their
Why?
off. They worked no, they
don't.
They took a risk. They worked their butt off for that business.
Mark Zuckerberg.
It disappeared to them. Dude, Elon Musk, it doesn't just appear to them. They had to work for it.
I'm not saying they did no work, but they're not working nearly as hard as the majority of the working class.
They took a risk, and there's a bigger risk. That's why you get
sure, but
the higher risk, the higher reward, pretty much.
Yeah, sure, but if it's high risk, high reward, even if it's high risk, high reward, the ceiling under capitalism is really high,
and that's not bad.
But the floor is really, really low. But the issue is
that's why they're
2%, 0.000000000000001% end up at the ceiling, right? And then 40% end up somewhere in the middle, and then 60% end up somewhere near the bottom.
Wait, if you start a business, are you saying that?
No, I'm saying no, just under capitalism in general.
Okay, well, I think most businesses. Okay, I think most businesses fail, right? That's why if you have a big business, you have a great idea, right? Apple had a great idea. Amazon, it formed into a great idea.
I'm not saying they're not I'm not saying that
the average worker just can't just do that, right? And that's why they shouldn't be punished for just being rich. That's not fair at all, right? That's not fair at all. When these people had to make this idea, take a huge risk, probably take out a loan, go into debt, right? For a business that they don't know that's gonna actually work or not. We're gonna tax you more for being rich. When they already contribute, more.
You're exorbitantly rich. Yeah,
they already contribute more to the economy than any other person ever will do in their lifetime, right? I mean, that's not ethical. That's not okay. That's not morally okay.
Should exist. Huh? If you want my honest take, I don't think billionaires should exist. I don't think we should have billionaires. I think it's so dystopian that we have billionaires. But if we are going to have billionaires, I think they should pay the majority of the taxes, a vast majority.
They already do.
They already do.
Right. Top 10%.
You said 40. You said 40%.
That's the top 1% pays 40%. Top 10% pays 70%.
That's billionaires though.
Billionaires pay
But I think the top 10 or the top 5%. I think the top 5% of income earners in the U.S. should be paying 90% of the taxes.
But then they're just not
Because
gonna. They're not gonna be here.
they
They'll
can
go
do that.
somewhere else. They'll go somewhere else. Dude, we
Why
tried
would they
doing
do
that.
that?
I don't know.
Why would they do that?
We tried doing
If
that.
they
We tried doing that in the 1950s. It didn't work out too well, right? It didn't work out too well.
well, if they wait, if
We
we have
tried
a
doing that in the
high if we have a high income tax on billionaires now, why don't they just go somewhere where it's lower right now?
Well, I think we have really low. We already have kind of a lower tax rate than everyone.
No, well, we have a. You said they pay 40%. That's way too high.
Yeah.
So then why don't they?
They
There's
go somewhere
places
else,
that
they
have
pay
lower
more
taxes. Why don't they go there?
They go somewhere they pay more taxes. We're kind of like in the middle, right? But also
But there's places,
America has the best opportunity.
right? But I'm saying, like, let's say hypothetically, we were to increase the corporate tax rate.
America,
If our tax rate,
we-
what's stopping them from leaving now?
because we have a very competitive tax rate and we have the best opportunity here.
No, but I'm saying like billionaires who already have billions of dollars.
Why
What's
would they?
stopping them
Well,
from
they don't
leaving
need to
now?
leave right now.
Why wouldn't they leave now if there's
them.
countries where they can pay lower taxes?
A lot
Like
of
if
them
you're
have,
saying that they would leave
a lot
if
of
we
them have
increase
left.
the
A lot of them have left.
if we increase the tax rate, you're saying they would leave. But
Yeah,
I'm saying
right,
what's
right.
stopping them from leaving now and going to countries where the tax rate's lower?
Like, where is the tax rate lower?
Like, let me see. Like I'm pretty sure Switzerland.
Switzerland has a higher tax rate because I think Switzerland definitely has a higher tax rate. You gotta look at like
Monaco,
the top
the
level.
Bahamas, Bahrain, Bermuda, the Cayman Islands.
In the Bahamas. There's no opportunity in the Bahamas.
Huh?
No opportunity anywhere else. You know,
Exactly. So I'm saying. So what I'm saying.
If we raise taxes 9%, there's no more opportunity, and they'll probably.
So I'm saying, even if we increase the tax rate, they wouldn't leave.
Yeah, they would.
Because they're not leaving now.
They did under Obama when he raised the tax like 3%. They raised the corporate tax rate to 37%. Right?
Who left?
The businesses left. A lot of businesses left.
Who?
It was like thousands of businesses. I don't know off the top of my head, but I can tell you a lot of businesses left under Obama.
Find me some.
Sure, I'll give you. Yeah, it was like if you ever watched the 2016 debate, right? The Hillary Clinton versus Donald Trump. A huge part was businesses leaving, right? But I could show you a statistic. 2016 businesses.
Trump said, or was that like an actual topic of the debate?
That was a topic for businesses leaving. Yeah, businesses leaving.
Obviously, I don't think businesses leaving the U.S. is a good thing, but I'm saying like if we're gonna live under capitalism, but I'm saying like
Ford left, Burger King left, United Technologies left, and a lot of carriers left. This is from what's it called? It's not that.
But did the debt rate of increase? Like, did the government revenue increase?
CNBC, Fox, both of them said. Right, so
did the government revenue increase that year after he enacted that, or no?
They mean by he enacted that? Like, wait, explain more. Like
after the corporate tax rate was raised, did the government revenue increase?
I don't know how much they made in 2015. I mean, revenue.
You said it was enacted 2014?
It was enacted I don't know when it was enacted under Obama. I know the Tax Jobs and Tax Cuts and Jobs Act really well, but I don't know Obama's tax policy that well. All right. We made like $4.6 trillion averagely, and that's what we made under Trump because Trump imposed a lot of tariffs and a lot of people were hired, a lot of hiring, a lot of other stuff.
When he got elected the first time?
Obama or Trump?
Trump.
Oh, Trump. Trump's first time. We don't have the. I don't think we have the fiscal how much we made this year yet. But it was $4.6 trillion averagely under Obama, and it stayed around the same, maybe a little bit less, maybe like 100 billion, which isn't huge in fiscal profit for fiscal profits, right?
Okay.
So it was around. I think it's when he lowered taxes like a lot.
Right. Okay. Well, I think it's been a little more than 15 minutes.
Yeah, on that topic. I don't even think we stayed on topic. We went from. We didn't even
really.
We kind of went to a lot of stuff. You want to get back on?
Do you want to? I did want to. Shoot, what did I want to say? Oh no, I did already say that. But I did want to talk about your position on trans people. Why
Oh,
do you think that trans women are women?
no.
Why?
Biologically, they can never change their gender, so you shouldn't be able to change your gender. Oh, no, but change your sex. My bad. You shouldn't be able to change.
Right.
Right? I believe that sex is more important than gender. I don't believe gender really matters at all. Right? Because if gender,
So you recognize that sex and gender are different, right?
yes, but I believe sex is more important by a mile. It's not even close.
Why do you believe that it's
That's
more
what we
important?
biologically are.
Okay. So you do you agree that you can be biologically a female, but your gender can be a man?
Yeah, but gender doesn't really matter to me. I don't think it really matters at all. So I can say like with this thing I can say I'm like
So wait, does gender?
no, no, but I
Okay.
can say
So
I'm
how
a
do you
dog.
define a?
Can I be a dog?
No, you can't be a dog because
Why?
you're a human and that's your species.
But there's like 100 different genders. I could be like a cis spirit.
Because gender isn't
But
biologically based.
how many genders do you think there are?
How many genders do I think there are?
How many genders do you
I
think
think
there are?
gender is a spectrum.
Okay,
So,
explain.
well, I would say, I mean, this is obviously you don't. Gender is a spectrum from masculine to feminine.
Okay, so there's only
You
male.
can be anywhere in between.
There's two genders, pretty much.
I'm saying no, I'm saying there's an infinite amount of genders between the masculine and feminine like binary.
Okay, so there's no number.
Because a
No
spectrum
number.
is an infinite number.
There's no number.
There's no exact number of genders.
Okay, so what you're saying doesn't really make any sense to me at all.
So do you know what a spectrum is,
Yeah,
right?
I'm trying to like imagine it in my head right now. It's hard. Um, I'm trying to imagine it in my head. It's not really making
So
sense.
think of like male on one side, female on the other side,
And then there's
and
everything
like
in the
in the
middle.
middle, it's like a mix of blue and pink, right? You know what I'm saying?
But why do we need to do that? But
Why do we need to do that? Because people feel different ways about their gender.
why does it matter that they feel a different way? Like, what if I feel like a
Why?
dog?
Because I feel like people should be able to identify as whatever they would like
So what?
to
I feel like a
identify
dog
as
right now. Do you like furries? Do you like furries?
I meant in terms of their gender.
But do you like furries?
I don't have a problem with furries.
But they can't be a dog, right?
No, furries don't think they're dogs. I know furries personally. They don't
They
think
don't
they're
think they're
animals.
dogs. Then why do they dress up as
No.
dogs and crouch and do and walk like
No.
dogs?
Furries, you're thinking of Therians. Though that's a completely
Like, I
different
don't know. I know
subgenre.
there's like people that identify as a dog, and that's and what
Yeah,
stops me
that's like theory. That's like Therians. That's a little
what if
too
it makes
far
me
for
feel
me.
good? What if it makes me feel good? Like, should I just be a dog?
If it makes you really feel good to act like a dog, I'm not gonna get in your way of
See, that
that.
doesn't make any sense to me at all, right?
If it make look, if you wanna act like a dog and go on all fours, dude, I'm not gonna care. I don't care.
But that
I
doesn't make
like
sense to me, right? Why should
sure
should we put them
it
in vets
cannot make
then?
sense to you, but that doesn't mean you should be like
But what does that mean? We should put him in vets and put him up for adoption because he identifies as a
no.
dog? So then, what's saying that like a man should be in a female sport?
I'm what?
Okay, so just say identify as a dog, right? Which you have no problem.
Because they wait, I'm saying that
Why?
are you saying that trans women should be like
No,
is that what you were saying?
they shouldn't be allowed to change their gender. First of all, it's just not. There's no. It's a needless.
They shouldn't be allowed?
No, it's a needless risk. I mean, dude,
Well, wouldn't you
studies upon studies have proven that they have a higher rate of suicide by a lot.
wouldn't that
Rate of
right? But
mental
their
problems.
rates of suicide decreases if they seek treatment for it.
Why has that's not dude, what?
Yeah, it does.
Wait, okay, so you see treatment to change your gender, right? Why is it transgender?
Yeah, gender affirming not surgery, but gender affirming treatment.
Why do we need gender affirming treatment? Why do we need doesn't it's
Because it lowers their suicide rates and it makes them
gender
it's
affirming? Like you are a woman or you are a man, like you are how you feel.
yeah.
But that's all because you feel some way doesn't mean that you should be that way. Like it just
Why not?
because like I said, I feel like a dog, but it doesn't mean I should be a dog.
Right, but nobody is seeking medical treatment to become a
Well, now
dog.
we're going to medical treatment, right? But what if I do feel like a dog? Should I go
If you
do
do feel like a dog, then I would say you should get psychologically evaluated.
what? Same with if you think you're a man, if you're a woman.
No, because it's a well documented gender dysphoric condition that we've seen.
Why?
There is no medical instance
What if it's
of
just a phase?
somebody
Like, what if it's just a
needing.
phase?
There is no medical. Okay, let's be serious here for a second. There is no genuine medical instance for somebody who needs treatment because they think they're a dog.
I'm gonna fact check right now. I believe there's probably one. There's probably just like a percentage of people that
I
have
mean, sure, but like that's probably like one nutcase.
people who want.
There's always an exception of like to the rule. Obviously, there's some people who like want to be animals, or they just have an obsession with animals and they think they're animals. But like
Yeah, there's literally just been a lot of people. There's like 5 people that like. There's a
that
five.
is
80
wait,
people.
but that's like 5 people compared to
180
millions of
people.
trans people.
180 people right here said they want to become a dog. According to no, that's not wrong source. That's how many 100. How did 180 and became a no. Well, here's
Sure, but
people.
that's like
Here are 3 people right here. That just 3 people, right? I don't know how. I don't know. There's no percentage on it, but like here, highly wed.
obviously. But is that like a? But is that is like wanting to be a dog? Is that like a diagnosed condition? No.
Is there a diagnosed condition? I think there's been a lot of
No, it's not a
diagnosed
diagnosed condition with like a set like procedure to go through in terms of medical care.
but like
This it's
we
like
try
and to compare
diagnose
that to like
diagnose
to
everything.
like trans kids is a little
It's not a problem,
to compare.
and people don't need. Like, you don't need to change your gender. It's a needless risk on their mental health.
No, it's not to compare people like let me finish. To compare trans people to people who think they're dogs and people who want to be dogs is a little degrading, to be honest.
I mean, why is it a huge problem if you want to just change? You want to change your gender, but like you can't, right? I mean, even with like, for example, I think we've been more welcoming to transgender people in the past like 10 years.
Yeah, and I think
So
that's a great thing.
why hasn't their mental health gotten better?
It has.
It's still really, really bad. It has. I don't think it's gotten any better. I don't think it's gotten any better. I had a study on this. I think it was from Sweden. It was like a Swedish study where they did like a huge
To
massive group, and their mental health didn't get better.
okay, this is a study from UCLA, the Williams Institute. Access to gender affirming care associated with lower suicide risk for trans people. Transgender people who need and receive gender affirming medical care have a lower prevalence of suicide thoughts and attempts than those who need it but have not received it. According to a new fact sheet by the Williams Institute at the UCLA School of Law, an estimated 5% of transgender people who access gender affirming care have attempted suicide in the past year, compared to 9% of those who needed care but did not receive it.
Okay.
So if these
Okay. Gender
treatments, wait, hang on, and if these treatments and this care decreases suicide rates, why shouldn't we do it?
Gender affirming care. So just define gender affirming care for me. Oh, just define it.
Gender affirming care being like hormones like HRT, or that could even be like gender affirming surgery.
But they don't, because it hasn't helped. It just actually, dude. I have a study from the Guardian. There's a study from the Guardian of people that actually changed. They surgically got to change it.
A study from the Guardian, or
the Guardian?
The Guardian cited a study.
No, this is the Guardian. I think the Guardian did a study. All right, I have it in my notes.
Hold up. Can you send me the read me the link?
Yeah. Guardian study on trans mental health. Here. Yeah, this was in England, right? Let's see if it is.
Trans people in England more likely to have long term poor mental health.
Right? And it's obviously
research.
Right, it's
transgender people in England are much more likely to have a long-term mental health condition. This just says they're much more likely to have a long-term mental health condition. This doesn't say that like
mental health condition. We want to like change your gender.
Right? No, that's
here, right? In finding in the Umbrella Review, data from the 24 reviews demonstrated consistent evidence of worse mental health and neurodevelopment outcomes in trans and non-binary people compared to the cisgenders and general population groups. It hasn't even gotten better, even the more accepting we've been. We are.
Where in the article is this?
Here's a Yama network. I just searched it up. It's like about. I literally just searched it up and I got my answer.
Just because trans people are more
Yama Network, Yama Network.
prone to have long-term mental health conditions. Like, 'cause I know trans people who have like long-term mental health conditions
Yeah,
like
because
depression and anxiety.
So
But
you only that plays a part in any way that they have a mental health
but this is
problem.
mainly because of bullying and dysphoria that they face because they are trans.
So why
And this stuff is less likely to be more prevalent if they receive the care. Obviously, gender affirming care isn't going to cure depression, but
it actually
it
worsens it.
helps a lot.
It actually worsens it. The Swedish I had a Swedish study. I have to find the link, but it was like a PDF, right? It actually hurts, right? There's a Swedish study. It actually hurts, because they don't feel as satisfied at all when they get their gender affirming care. They don't. Their mental health doesn't go away when they did it to fix their mental health. It actually doesn't fix it at all. Right? The fact is when these people have
From the National Library of it's not a study from the National Library of Medicine. National I think this is the one that you had referenced, the JAMA
yeah.
network open, right? The mental health outcomes in transgender non-binary youths receiving gender affirming care. Transgender non-binary youths are disproportionately burdened by poor mental health outcomes owing to decreased social support and increased stigma and discrimination. So this article that you cited is literally just saying, like, that you're wrong. Among 104 youths aged 13 to 20 years who participated in the study, there were 63 trans masculine individuals, 27 trans feminine individuals,
That's a really
10,
study, dude. Oh my
10 non binary or gender fluid individuals, and 4 youths who responded I don't know or did not respond to the gender identity question. At baseline, 59 individuals had moderate to severe depression, 52 individuals had moderate to severe anxiety, and 45 individuals had reported self-harm or suicidal thoughts. By the end of the study, 69 youths had received PBs or GAHs, both interventions, while 35 youths had not received either intervention. After adjustments for temporal trends and potential confounders, we observed 60% lower odds of depression and 73% lower odds of suicidality among youths who had initiated PBs or GAHs.
Okay, so it's a lot of studies contradict itself.
GAHs being, I believe,
contradict itself. Then I mean, there's like
gender affirming hormones. So there's a lot lower, the 73% lower odds of suicidality among youths who had initiated PBs or GAHs compared to the youths who had not.
Well, I have another Yama study right here that says right like a growing body of evidence suggests that trans experience worse mental health outcomes than cisgender people, but there's substantial gaps in methodological weaknesses in literature. So
Can you send me that link real quick?
yeah, sure. Yama did like so many things, they contradict itself a lot. But if you just search up,
Well, that's because Yama isn't like a single group of people. It's like just it's like a networking thing.
Here, I'll try. I had it on my computer, so I need to find it. But if you look through like,
just paste the link in our chat.
Okay, what do you mean paste the link? Like copy it word for word?
Just paste it. Yeah, just paste the link. Like at the top of your search bar, just paste the link.
Okay. Yeah, I'm in there. All right, hold on. Yama. But like,
even if like the care worsened depression, which I find highly unlikely.
I mean, that's what
I know trans people who have gotten.
Yeah, but I know trans people that killed themselves. Like
me too.
It's like, why should we send these people off? That we know they're gonna get bullied, even with like.
But why would we not give them? But why would we not give them the care that is shown to help them?
It's most likely a phase. It's most likely nothing like we need to do this. Is this like a need?
It's not like what? Wait. It's not like trans people are going to doctors' offices and be like,
I never said that.
Give me hormones now. It's not like it's like an impulse. You know what I mean? It's not like you're going on Amazon and you're buying a stupid product that you're gonna regret a month later.
I
This
mean,
is like a long process that kids go through, and not just kids. Like grown adults will go through this with their doctors, and they'll have to sign consent forms. They'll have to sign like pounds of paperwork. Like they don't just go to doctors' offices and
I think
they're
in
like,
some
I want to be a
states,
boy.
I think in some states, well, actually no, because we banned kids for getting trans, which I think is amazing. I don't, if you
Here,
haven't had to
oh,
anymore,
in the country.
yes, good.
When did this happen?
It just happened. Like it just happened like a week ago, where they banned trans for kids. Like that, the fact that you can support that.
And gender affirming care for kids.
Oh, like yeah, know, like actual surgery to change your gender.
Oh well, I don't. Yeah, I think that decision should be made when you're 18.
Wait, I think it's a needless.
I don't think. Wait, I don't think you should be getting gender affirming surgery if you're under 18, unless you show like severe signs of suicidality.
For change because you want to be a because you want like this is crazy, right? Like here's another like
I don't think it's. I don't think it's crazy that some people just have
yeah,
gender dysphoria. They're born
some
with it.
people do, but like why is the gender dysphoria ever since like 5-10 years ago being gracious, right? Spike up ever since we started like implementing everything about being trans. Like do you not think
Because more
no,
people
I
are
don't think it's
aware
that.
of what
I don't think it is that. I think it's that
because more people are aware of what hang on, let me speak. Because more people are aware of what being trans is and more people are exploring their gender identity. I don't think it's that wild to say
why
that.
do people need to explore their gender identity? If they had no problem
Because I think it's good to know who you are.
what?
I don't think you should just like I don't think you should just like bottle up your gender identity
You're getting
and
sex
like
for a reason, right? I mean, obviously, I don't know, like you get this for a reason, right? There's no reason to change your gender. We don't need to talk about this so much.
yeah, there is.
No, we don't need to. There's no
Clearly there is because some people
what
kill
need.
themselves.
Kill themselves. Okay, before 2015 when we allowed it, how many people were killing themselves for gender dysphoria?
What?
Okay, do you think people had gender dysphoria
Okay.
before 2015?
So, people were still killing themselves, but it wasn't classified. But hang on, a lot of people were still killing themselves, but it wasn't classified as because of a lack of gender affirming care or because of gender dysphoria. It was just classified as depression because like in the 70s and the 80s and the mid to late 90s, yeah.
Okay.
Because nobody talked about trans people in the 90s and the 80s and the 70s.
How do you know it's like because of that? That's like really big speculation.
Why?
It could have been. How do you know like a lot of this could have been because of gender dysphoria? That's like
because after like
from
the early 2000s to from the early 2000s to like now, they started classifying like a lot more deaths like as opposed to like the like literally like 10 or 20 a year like that they had before. They started classifying a lot more deaths as gender dysphoria and a lot less as depression. So if we can use our like logical reasoning, we can see people started realizing that this was because of gender dysphoria and not because of depression.
How do you know it's not just because like people didn't have gender dysphoria until they started really talking about it a lot in schools and stuff?
Well, people are still going to have gender dysphoria no matter what. Gender dysphoria doesn't happen just because there's like people talking about it. Because people had gender dysphoria in like the 1960s and the 1970s and the 1980s. I'm not
saying they don't, obviously. I mean, but like a lot of people, like for example, there would be like a tom. You know what tomboy is, right?
Yeah.
Like, as a girl, yeah, right. A lot of people would just be that, but there's no thought of changing your gender because that's really stupid, right? And
why is that stupid?
Because you biologically cannot change your sex, and then sex is more important.
Nobody. Wait, transgender people don't want to change their sex.
Well, why do they?
That's why it's. I'm sure if they could, they would. But you can't.
Why do they get their?
I'm sure if they could, they would, but you can't change your sex.
Then why do they get their genitals cut off and their, all the other stuff cut off to make their stuff look more?
Because it helps their dysphoria. It's been proven to help their dysphoria.
But why? Why do we need to?
Why? Because it helps them. What? Dude, if there was a magical drug that could lower the suicide rates exponentially for the entire population, would you want them to have it?
Suicide gone down overall for transgender people?
Like suicide. Like, no, I'm saying suicide rates. Suicide rates go down
I
if they
told-
receive gender affirming
I-
care.
No, but the transgender population overall has not gone down. The suicides for transgender people has not gone down. That's why we have
Yeah, they have.
No, yeah. Why do we have Trans Awareness Month? Like, dude, why do you
Why
think
do
their
we have?
mental health is consistently
What do you
worse?
mean?
Why do you think their mental health is
Because
consistently
transgender
worse
people are
than
an oppressed
cisgender
group
people?
in this country.
Oppressed?
Yes,
If they give
you.
them a whole month, we give them a whole month. How much more do we have to do? We allow them to change their sex when they really can't, right? Why? Like, we do so much for these people, right? We're like the most anti-trans country in the world. Like,
No, we are not, but we are pretty anti-trans.
okay, make sure
According to translegislation.com, in 2025, anti-trans bills continue to be introduced across the country. There have been 1,020 bills across 49 states, 124 have been passed, 514 are active, and 382 have failed.
Okay, that's I mean,
So
I
that's 1,000. We're
okay.
done with 2025 pretty much, and we've seen 1,000 anti-trans bills.
Like, what is it? Like, what is it? It's like not allowing them to be in sports, female
Huh?
sports, not allowing them to be in female
I
sports.
would say, yeah, I would say that's.
You think that's
I
oppressive?
mean, I would say that's definitely an example of one.
How is that
Yeah.
oppressive? Do you think that's oppressive?
How is that oppressive? Because if they meet the requirements to
Oh
compete
no,
fairly, then they should be
they
allowed to.
literally they're always gonna be biologically gonna be better than the woman, and it's
Nope.
studies have proven. Yes, they are. But it just why did they take 900 medals from? Why did they take 900 medals from like actual women that actually deserved it? Like they in UN literally came out and study last year that like they took 900 medals. Transgender or men went to female sports and took 900 medals. Like and
Don't say
biologically,
men. Just for the sake of being polite, please say trans women.
okay, sure, I'll say for the sake of being polite, sure, I'll be trans woman, right?
Trans women. Okay. Thank you.
Trans
Um.
women, they they change their gender, they go into a sport, they take 900 medals.
Okay.
They're already better, right? Like naturally they're stronger, naturally they're faster, naturally they're more athletic. That's just biologically proven. You cannot argue that.
Blah blah blah. Let me see. What is this?
I had like four sources that proved to me that
Cisgender males.
even with pumping estrogen, their muscle like it goes down and it just plateaus, right?
Well, they'll lose muscle mass, and
No, it
trans women
plateaus.
have.
It
Well,
plateaus
trans
after
women
the year.
actually will end up having less testosterone than biological women
I don't think that's true.
if they go through the required. I think it's required by the NCAA. If they go through the required treatment by the NCAA, they'll have less nanograms per deciliter of
If that's true,
testosterone.
why are they taking 900 medals from women then?
900 medals.
It took
What's your source for that?
UN.
The UN.
You literally searched it up. Yeah.
Can you paste me the article?
Yeah, sure. All right. You just UN study trans taking medals. Yeah, 890 medals by CBN UN reports finds female athletes lost 890 900 medals, nearly 900 medals from trans identifying opponents.
Okay. Well, I would say like I would only count that as like I would count that as unfair obviously if they didn't meet the required like amount of muscle mass or amount of testosterone.
See, like, but this is just like why
I would say that I don't think I would say that I don't think just people who say I don't think trans women who haven't undergone any gender affirming care or treatment should be able to compete in women's sports because they still have that male biological advantage, right?
okay,
Be reasonable.
but will have
all of the science, all of the science points to if they go under a certain amount of this treatment that biological advantage eventually erodes away after 3 to 5 years of treatment.
No, it actually plateaus. I found like 4 studies that actually plateaus. There's actual science.
Can you just share all of them in Discord right now?
I used the debate against another guy. It was 4 guys that there's 4 studies from the science based thing. I just get it.
Okay, I'll be right back. Give me one moment.
Go ahead. All right, I sent you the source.
Okay, let me see this. Is this all of them?
Well, that's one. I can't, the guy blocked me, so I can't get my sources. So it doesn't let me copy and paste the 4 sources, but that's just one of them that shows like it does plateau overall.
Okay,
It's on.
let me see it.
Usually, the people that like say that they kind of like they get their sources
Inclusion
from.
of transgender people in elite sport. Existing literature comprises cross-sectional or small uncontrolled longitudinal studies. Oh, I literally had this study pulled up on my other tab.
Yeah, it decreases, but it says it right here that they still have a biological they still have a biological advantage.
Just physical. Feminizing hormone therapy for trans women and non-binary individuals recorded male at birth will typically achieve serum estradiol and testosterone concentrations in the female range. Estradiol therapy is often paired with anti-androgen agents such as cyproterone acetate, spironolactone, bicalu- bicalutamide, or gonadotropin-releasing hormone analogs for people with testes, depending on the mechanism of action. Peripheral androgen receptor antagonists, blah blah blah. This is just talking about what they receive. Feminizing hormone therapy includes gynoid fat redistribution, breast growth, softened skin, reduces male muscle mass, body and facial hair growth, and libido. Voice pitch and skeletal size do not change. Adverse effects include an increased risk. Uh, ah. In the general population, men have significantly higher skeletal muscle mass than women, both in absolute terms and relative to body mass. Men have a greater proportion of muscle mass in the upper body. Uh, Approximately 50% of the variance is explained by weight and height. Males also have a higher proportion of fast twitch muscle fibers. The impact of GAHT on relative muscle mass distribution and muscle fiber composition of trans people is unclear, and inferences depend upon whether they are compared with cisgender men or women. Given the challenges in undertaking randomized controls trials in the field, uncontrolled longitudinal studies, assessing muscle mass in non-athletic trans people.
It's still gonna have you're still gonna have a biological advantage.
I'm reading it. Hold up. Saying 179 trans women over the first 12 months of GAHT showed a decrease of total lean mass by 3% from baseline, but fat mass increased by 28%. A 2-year study assessing relative lean mass percentage in trans women found reductions from 77.5% at baseline to 72.5% at 1 year and 71.7% at 2 years, whereas relative fat mass increased from 19% at baseline to 24.2% at 1 year. Let me read this for a second. Muscle area in trans women remained statistically significantly greater than those measured in untreated trans men, used as a female comparison group, though with an almost complete overlap. Well, wouldn't you say that the majority of people who are women who are or the people who are trans men who are untreated will have a lower muscle mass than the average female athlete?
Explain. Say that again. Say that
So
again.
the only issue with this study is they used untreated trans men as the group of females, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like as comparison to trans women.
Oh, so the trans.
But the only issue with that is that trans men aren't obviously aren't going to be as athletic and as muscularly trained as a woman who has done sports.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I guess. But also, I mean, if there really wasn't,
And we don't know how we don't know the actual
if they weren't, dude, I'm telling you, if it doesn't make any sense how, according to some studies, I guess I don't know what studies say that they do actually have less testosterone or less muscle. Then how did they win 890 medals in according to the UN? That's like.
So in the UN study, what is it measuring it in terms of what sports and what competitions?
Yeah, I'll tell you right now. I had it up. UN study.
Because I know it's not the NCAA.
I mean, that's really creepy, or really weird that happens. That they allow trans women into.
Will they allow them because do you think that the NCAA would
Yes.
not do?
Yes.
Do you think the
100%.
NCAA would just not do any research and just let that happen? No.
Yes, they would.
Also, Leah Thomas, the person that most people talk about when it comes to trans athletes, didn't even win first place.
What was she at?
I believe Leah Thomas just barely beat Riley Gaines for fourth place.
Also, talent comes in there too. I don't know how talented that person is. Because
you could say talent, but
for example, Ronda Rousey, you know Ronda Rousey, right? She'll beat the crap.
She's no, she did win the national championship.
Who?
Good for her, Leah Thomas.
Oh, she did.
Yeah.
See, that's okay.
Leah Thomas is an American swimmer, first openly trans athlete to win an NCAA Division I national championship, having won the women's 500-yard freestyle event in 2022. Before being barred from competing in women's events by World Aquatics.
She should. It's even like apparently the sign says
Well,
this.
she did meet all the requirements for.
Then why is it whenever these trans
She did meet all the requirements for the NCAA, and it was shown, and it was proven by the NCAA themselves that she had no biological advantage because she had less testosterone than everyone else in the competition.
So why is it when these trans people go into this, they just all of a sudden win all these medals? Well, maybe not even with talent.
That's why Leah Thomas was the first.
You want to agree?
That's why Leah Thomas in 2022, this happened 3 years ago. This was the first time a transgender athlete had ever won an NCAA Division I national championship.
What she get? Fourth place, right?
She got first place.
She got first place, the first ever time a trans athlete was ever allowed.
Yes, in 2022, only 3 years ago. This was the first time a trans. This was literally. Wait, I would like to add. This was the first time a trans woman, or a trans person in general, was the best in their sport in the NCAA ever.
When did the NCAA allow trans people to be into the?
Let me see.
Why it be 2022 and they just come in first year, they just wipe it out. And same with same with the UN, 29 different sports. They took 900 medals. That's a lot of medals, and it doesn't make any sense that we should allow these people in.
NCAA first adopted a policy allowing transgender student athletes to compete in 2011, establishing guidelines based on hormone therapy. This policy was updated in January 2022 to a sport-by-sport approach, aligning with Olympic standards. As of February 2025, the NCAA revised its policy to restrict women's sports to those assigned female at birth. But that was because of the Trump executive order.
Good. Keep them out of sports.
No, not good.
Yeah, dude.
Because the Trump executive order was antithetical to the science that says that they don't have a biological advantage.
You're not answering like the UN study. You're not answering the UN study. 29 different sports, right?
Well, send me the UN study. Send me the UN study. I'll look at it.
UN
copy it right now. I'll give it a look.
UN study.
But I fear this is just gonna be like the last one you sent me, where it's gonna kind of like prove you wrong in a roundabout way.
Not really. Prove me wrong.
Because even like obviously, if they don't meet these specific like what is the word I'm looking for? If they don't meet like oh shoot, I just closed Discord. Wait, you can still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. If they don't meet like the specific parameters, obviously I disagree with that.
Because they still,
and I don't think they should be competing.
A biological advantage. I mean, it's like
but that biological advantage can be eliminated.
You will always be having a biological advantage. Just like you never take that away, right?
Not necessarily. Because then why would the NCAA ever allow it?
Because they're really they're liberal and they want to look very they want to look good to society.
If they're like this ultra liberal organization, then why would they just bow down to what Trump did?
But why wouldn't they bow down? Because it's an executive order, they have to follow it.
No, they don't have to follow it because he didn't give a legal consequence. The consequence would just be that they would cut funding.
Well then, yeah, that's really important. That's really important. Cut fund, yeah, that's really important. We've been really open to these people to for transgender stuff, and they've always taken awards, right? Here's another one. According to Outsports, right? These 29 trans athletes have won national or international titles in women's sports. You're lying to yourself to say that you don't have some type of advantage because there's no way that this happens. There's no way. There's no way. You cannot tell me with a straight face and tell me that. You can't. Here's another study. Here's another one. 10. Another 10. One's too many, but NCAA president says there's less than 10 transgender athletes in college sports. Good. I mean, I don't think that's good. Right? I mean, the fact of the matter is we should not allow anybody that's trans into these sports. It's just not fair. It's not fair.
Do you think Aman Khalif is a trans woman?
I don't know who that is.
The Algerian boxer.
I don't know who Aman Khalif is. I don't know. I don't want trans women into boxing. It's like putting Mike.
Well, she wasn't a trans woman, but
She wasn't.
a lot of American Republicans, people in Congress, actually accuse her of being a trans woman and having a unfair biological advantage.
Well, she's not a trans woman. There's no problem with it. But like, I don't think a trans woman should go into boxing either.
Why?
I don't think a trans woman should go into boxing.
I think trans women, as long as they meet the correct requirements, can play whatever sport they want to.
Then you're not okay. Why do all these trans people take these?
Like, I think the NCAA policy that they adopted in 2022 was the best one because it went by sport basis rather than the one they introduced in 2011, which didn't have a sport by sport basis but had a blanket policy.
Then why did they win? We're talking about UN too. UN 900.
900 medals globally across, like, I think
29 different sports.
It just says 900 medals
in 29 different sports. In 29 different sports.
It just says 900 medals over their competitors.
I saw 29 different.
Can you send me?
Yeah.
Can you send me the original study from the UN?
Here, UN study 900 medals.
Like, because I'm just seeing like the Washington article and that's not elaborating a lot.
I'm trying to find the one that I saw. It was a 20-page document. 600 biological females lost at least 890 medals to transgender competitors. These defeats occurred over 400 competitions in 29 sports through authors that do not explicitly specific events, levels of competition, or time periods.
Okay, can you send me the link to that?
Yeah, so AB.
Wait, it doesn't discuss specific events, levels, or time periods?
No, I don't think so.
So then, why should I believe it?
Why shouldn't? Why would the UN come out and say that?
You just sent me the Washington Post article again, no?
Washington Post article, yeah. I can't find the UN article. Everyone's just telling out what it means. I can't find the UN on it. Listen, you don't have to believe it, but it's true. Like it's a common thing that you see, right? With like when transgender people are allowed to do women's sports, where they win these titles, they win these things, right? Even though apparently they have no biological advantages, and no one can explain to me why.
Female athletes.
You can't explain to me why, dude.
Trans women in sports. Trans athletes, especially trans women and girls. Blah blah blah. This bizarre focus on trans people who make up approximately 1% of the population is demonstrated by the fact that as of March 15th, there have already been over 745 anti-trans bills introduced in state legislators across the country in 2025 alone.
Okay. I don't think it's a big problem. I don't even think like gender is a big problem at all.
Renee Richards, women's tennis, Veronica Ivy, Laurel Hubbard. 2021, Laurel Hubbard competed in weightlifting at the 2020 Summer Olympics. Despite widespread media attention, she won no medals. When trans people do participate in professional and competitive sports, their participation is carefully regulated by national and international standards to ensure it is fair. We should not be looking to politicians or pundits, many of whom have never been to a women's sporting event, for guidance on how to regulate women's sports. Blah, blah, blah. Choose later. New World Athletics rules required Semenya to take medication to suppress her naturally occurring high levels of testosterone. Although Semenya is a cis woman. Aman Khalif, a cisgender Algerian professional female boxer, was disqualified from the 2023 IBA Women's World Boxing Championship shortly after completing her gold medal in the final round for unspecified medical reasons relating to her gender. She later competed in the 2024 Olympics, and despite being cleared by the International Olympic Federation to compete in women's competitions, was falsely accused of being trans following a match with Italian boxer Angela Carini. Carini withdrew 46 seconds after the match commenced, claiming that the match was unfair, sparking a baseless controversy over Khalif's gender.
Okay, I mean, okay, what are we getting to here?
I'm trying to find the freaking study. Or anything that references it. I just can't find this study.
And then why would the Washington Post, which is a really liberal post, why would they...
The Washington Post isn't liberal?
The Washington Post is liberal.
The Washington Post is owned by Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, I think Jeff Bezos is a liberal too.
Do you think Jeff Bezos is a liberal?
Yeah, most billionaires are liberals.
Jeff Bezos was Jeff Bezos
Here,
at Joe
in
Biden's
Washington Post, it
was
doesn't.
Jeff Bezos at Joe Biden's inauguration?
Okay, being at someone's inauguration doesn't mean anything.
No, tell me whose inauguration he was at.
He was at Trump's, but it doesn't mean he's pro Trump.
He was.
It's right here, right here.
Why would he be there if he didn't support Trump?
According to all sides, it's a left-leaning newspaper.
The Washington Post left leaning by how much?
It's left-leaning. I don't tell you how much. It has a long history of supporting Democratic presidential candidates. It has been subjected to criticism by both sides of the political spectrum. While
it's a lean left, but not by much.
It's left.
It's 0.63%, or 1.63%, or no, it's 0.63 away from being a center. Like,
yeah, I think also
most prevalent topics appearing in.
I think CNN came out with it too. I think it's like everyone came out with this, right? It's not.
I don't like CNN either. But look,
you're not understanding.
The Washington Post is pretty unbiased.
It's still it's still
lean left because a lot of times facts tend to lean left as well. But
no, it's not.
Reuters is one of the most reliable media outlets, and Trump literally called it fake news.
Trump calls everything fake news.
Yeah, that's because he's stupid.
No, he's not stupid. He's probably one of the better presidents in our.
I wouldn't go that far. I think all U.S. presidents have sucked pretty much equal ass cheeks, but.
Yeah, I know, because you're a socialist and you don't think any capitalism is good at all, but.
It's not that I don't think the presidents can be good, but it's just a lot of them have been bad.
Okay, well, what's Trump? Why do you not like Trump? That's a big one.
Why don't I like Trump?
Besides, what economic?
Because he's very pro bourgeoisie.
Okay, explain more what that is.
He's pro bourgeoisie. He's pro Israel.
Oh gosh. Okay, I'm neither in the pro Israel conflict, so.
I don't think you're pro Israel. I saw that you're not pro Israel, but I'm aware. But I just don't like him because he's pro Israel. And I don't like him because he's pro bourgeoisie, because his tax policies have historically benefited the bourgeoisie.
No, actually, I actually could tell you this. Under Trump's term was one of the first times since the 1950s, maybe a little bit earlier than that, where the bottom 90% grew faster than the top 10% under his term.
Where's your source?
Sure, I'll search it up.
I just want to fact. I
know you want to test my credibility. Sure. Top who grew faster? The top.
Damn, we've been on this for almost 2 hours.
Yeah, top 10% or the bottom 90% under Trump's.
Is that under his first term?
Yeah, first term.
Okay.
I'm trying to find. It was a study on it. During economic. From 2002 to 2007, here this is Bush. Where's Trump? It's I'm not gonna say it's widely. It's widely known, but it's true that they grew faster. I found the damn source. Where's the source? Economic Policy Institute, wages for. Who's this? Wages for the top one. Oh my god, I'm just searching on my phone. Who grew faster? Yeah, here. I'll send this to you. Weightinmeans.gov. Here's one. Here. I could just send you a screenshot of I could send you a screenshot of what it is. The bottom 90% grew faster than the top 10%.
The United States House Committee on Ways and Means, the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act.
Unemployment reached an all-time low. Not all-time low, but since 1960.
50% more.
Black
Unemployment.
unemployment record low. Asian unemployment record low. I mean, dude, he's like his
What
economy.
is this? So how did his Tax Cuts and Jobs Act cause this?
I mean, we could say it gave it
Like, what specific amendments in the
market.
Tax Cuts and Jobs Act caused that change?
Yeah, indirectly, definitely. Indirectly caused it, right? So there's a very scarce labor market in the Tax Cut and Jobs Act and the bipartisan bill, I think it was, that kept this labor market very scarce, right? So that increased wages for people in the labor market, right? I could also say, like, he cut taxes, right? He was like one of the first presidents to actually cut taxes for the middle class. Like, he actually cut taxes for the middle class. He doubled the child tax credit. He expanded it a lot. Or it's more people came home with their money, right, and had take home money for the middle class, right? That's why you saw wages explode under him, right?
Real median wages pretty much stayed the same.
No, where'd you get that from?
No, the increase rate of real median wages pretty much stayed the same.
No, it's 1 to 1.5 more than inflation was.
Yeah. Well, the second
Obama was 0.5 to, like,
the second quartile increased at a bit of a higher rate, but the second quartile is not the lowest class. The lowest quartile did increase at a bit of a higher rate from 2016 to 2020.
Okay.
But I don't know, it's not showing me like how it was before 2015. So 2015, I mean, it looks like it just stayed on the same path from 2015 to
no, it was going
like before Trump was elected. It's like 2015, 2016, it's increasing.
It's a fact that the wages got
right, but it's
a fact.
If anything, it looks like it decreases a little in 2018. But
where are you finding this?
Here, let me send you this actually.
Because if you look at the statistic was that it's 1.5.
This is the graph that I'm looking at, though.
What graph are you looking at?
I'll send it to you right now. Why did this paste in here? Okay. Here. That was the graph that I was looking at. So you see how in 2015 and then 2016, because Trump doesn't go into office until 2017. See how in 2015 and 2016 it's increasing at a bit of a higher rate, and then it drops a little, and then it goes back up at pretty much the same rate for the lowest quartile. Do you see that?
Okay, so 2015,
and then
it's always. What do you mean talking about? This is up.
Yeah, it is up, but it's just increasing at the same.
Up a lot.
No, I'm saying it's going up, but I'm saying it's increasing at the same rate as it was before he was in office. So this isn't showing that he did like anything particularly to raise the wages. But even the U.S. median wages still aren't keeping up with the inflation that we have in this country.
Well, now it is. Now it's different because what happened with Joe Biden and like the shortages.
Well, couldn't you just? Now, here's my only issue with the U.S. economy. Not just the fact that it's capitalist. The big issue with the U.S. economy is that the government refuses to make the federal minimum wage $15.
What's that right now?
Or let alone like $20.
Well, actually, it differs by state.
I know, but the minimum,
the
federal minimum wage is $7.25. So the minimum federal minimum wage, the minimum wage a state can have is $7.25 because that's the federal minimum wage.
Okay, that's not even that bad. You shouldn't be able to live on minimum wage.
You can't live on $7.25 an hour.
Yeah, you shouldn't be able to. It should be like it shouldn't be a livable thing. It shouldn't be a main job.
Shouldn't be livable.
It's the minimum wage. It's like it's not like when has anybody ever lived on minimum wage?
Nobody. That's the issue.
You shouldn't be able to live on minimum wage.
You should be able to live on minimum wage. Everyone should be paid a living wage.
Why is that supposed to be the main job? So you're telling me? Okay, tell me this. You think a teenager who's getting minimum wage should be able to live off that, and live their whole life off that?
No, I'm saying I think anyone who's getting paid the minimum wage in this country, the minimum wage should be high enough for you to live off of it.
Maybe by live, like
That's what I'm saying.
half an
I
hour.
don't think you can live. I don't think you can live off of $7.25 an hour.
That also,
I just think it would be
that's the minimum
awesome.
someone can get paid. That's the minimum someone can get paid. Most states are not that.
Right, but
Here in New Jersey, $15.
right. But under capitalism, the companies want to pay the employees as little as they possibly can.
Okay, but then the state has the forcible hand that you have to pay this much.
Right. But the majority of jobs, like my state, I know you live in New Jersey. New Jersey has a $7.25 minimum wage, I believe.
No, it's 15.
Is it 15?
Yeah.
No. New Jersey minimum wage? Really?
I'm pretty sure it's 15. I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's 15.
No, I think it's $7.25. Oh, it is 15. Okay.
$15.
I thought it was $7.25. Oh, I was thinking of New Hampshire. New Hampshire has $7.25 an hour. So like states like yeah. So Alabama, Mississippi, Oklahoma, Texas, and I think Louisiana all have $7.25 minimum wage. Do you know what they have in common?
What?
They are among the bottom 10 in quality of life.
What's okay? That's not direct. That's not directly reason. It's not directly a reason. That's cause you're mixing with causation with correlation. It's not.
This isn't correlation causation fallacy.
It's not causation because you think the quality of life is so low because the minimum wage is.
Well, obviously, it's not just the minimum wage, but that's definitely a part of it.
It's other things, maybe bad leadership, and it's not great, right?
What do all those states have in common in terms of leadership?
Okay, I'm not saying Republicans are great. All Republicans. But I can also say, look at Florida compared to California. Florida is like a way better state. Right,
well, it has a lot of tax dollars because it has a lot of millionaires because it has a lower income tax.
North Carolina, South Carolina. I can say that too. I wonder why everyone from those blue states are moving to there. I mean, I wonder why.
To where?
To Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina.
Florida? I don't know.
Okay, maybe
you should ask them.
Maybe it's a better state.
Maybe.
So yeah, maybe like just.
I'm not saying a state is bad or good because it's Republican or Democrat. I don't like the Democrats either.
You're implying really heavily that. You're implying really heavily that was.
So let's see.
You were implying.
Louisiana is ranked last.
Don't lie. You were implying. You were implying.
A little, but sometimes it is related.
How? It's like I could say the same thing about like Illinois. Illinois is like horrible.
I love Illinois. I live in Illinois.
Illinois is, dude. Chicago's like one of the worst cities ever.
It's not. What's the worst city? What's the worst city in terms of crime rate?
It might be Chicago.
Nope, not even close.
I don't know. Not even close is a little too far. I don't know. It might be Chicago. Might be Chicago. What is the worst crime?
Worst city in terms of murder rate.
Murder rate's like that's really. I'm talking about any type of crime. Like you got.
So New Orleans. Wait, listen to this. Highest murder rate in U.S. cities in 2025. New Orleans, red state.
No.
Memphis, Tennessee,
blue city.
Red state.
Blue city.
St. Louis, Missouri, red state.
Blue city.
And then Maryland is a blue state. And then Birmingham, Alabama, which is a red state.
It's a blue city.
Well, all cities are blue because of social gravity theory.
Yeah, so I don't think you know the governor can't just go in and just wipe out crime. You have to have the authority.
No, I'm saying like, but you can still use. Well, you can still use state. You can still use state policy to help crime in individual cities.
No, because here's the thing, right? I think you should play.
They did that in Illinois. Illinois isn't even top 10 in murder rate.
Chicago's definitely top 10.
Worst states, murder rates. Maybe I'm wrong. It may just barely be in the top 10.
That's Wikipedia. So, murder is murder.
States have the highest murder rates: Mississippi, Louisiana, Alabama, New Mexico, Tennessee. So Illinois is ranked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Illinois is ranked 11th. behind Georgia, Maryland, Missouri, South Carolina,
All these states,
Arkansas,
all these
Tennessee, New
states,
Mexico, Alabama, Louisiana, and Mississippi.
all this. Okay, according to the BBC, all this cities are blue. Like every city here is blue.
Yeah,
Every
because all cities are blue.
yeah. So you can't
Well, pretty
say
much
one Republican
pretty much
governor.
every big city, but you can't link them.
They're not
Can you
linkable. The
link?
crime and the governor are not linkable. They're not. They're really not. All right.
Right, but I'm saying,
It's a mayor thing.
then why are the top five or the top?
Why? I just told you
I think it's
because.
the top nine. The top nine.
Mhm.
Um, why are all of the top nine states red states?
Because they're blue ran cities that make up the large proportion of this crime.
Right. But then why wouldn't
Because you
the
can't.
top 10, then
You
why
literally
are the
can't.
top 10 specifically, why do they just so happen to be in red states and not blue states?
I can say why are they in blue cities? Like, dude, it's the guy, the governor
Right,
cannot
but
just go there.
the common denominator is that they're blue cities in red states. They're not
Okay,
blue cities in blue states.
you can't put a party on it, right?
No, but I'm saying they're
I can
blue
use
cities in red states,
no, it's
but they're
impossible.
not blue cities.
No, no,
Wait, I'm saying they're blue. All of them. Wait, hang on.
You're
The
making
top nine.
you're not right. You're not right because I could say this about Republican. Look at I give you an example. Giuliani inherited one of the worst crime epidemics ever in New York City, and he went in there and the crime decreased by 70%. Republican governor, by the way, right? As many
Giuliani to debate you on his policy, to be honest. But here's what I was trying to say.
It's not a
Is it?
governor issue. It's not a governor
Are you
issue.
saying? I'm right, but let me continue. Are you saying that it just so happens to be coincidence that 9 of the top 10, or actually, yeah, 9 of the top 10, because Georgia went red this election, that 9 of the top 10 are blue cities in red states and not blue cities in blue states?
No, I think it's a coincidence. They're all blue states.
They're not blue states, they're all red states.
They're all blue cities. They're all blue cities. I
So
think that's the bigger.
that's just like a really crazy coincidence.
I mean, here's the thing, right? With the blues, you say the Republican governor does try to do something.
Because if wait, hang on, let's propose what you're saying is true, and Democrats suck really badly. Then wouldn't they be in the most blue areas in blue cities and blue states?
Depends. I mean, and why? What do you think the Republican governor has anything to do with this? How?
Well, I'm saying there just happens to be a correlation.
Okay, it doesn't make causation.
Obviously, but I'm not saying
Yeah,
correlation equals causation. But this strong of a correlation would incline one. Would incline one to believe that. Like, what are the bottom states in terms of murder? Look at this. So, the bottom 5 is. Let's look at the bottom 10. So, Wyoming is a red state, but they don't even have a rate because
nobody lives.
The age-adjusted rate for Wyoming was unavailable. So they don't have a rate. They just have a really low number of homicides. We just had the least homicides. They didn't even have the lowest rate. So the bottom 5 states are, we're not going to include Wyoming, New Hampshire, Utah, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Idaho, Hawaii, North Dakota, Nebraska, and Iowa.
It's really mixed.
So yeah, it is mixed.
I can say the most dangerous state is also.
So then, if the rates for the lowest, if the rate, hang on.
Okay, watch this. Okay, if you look at the most dangerous states, right? It's really mixed.
What states?
Huh?
Now what states?
Okay, you're going to U.S. News. They're putting me with a pop-up right now. Hold up. They gave me a pop-up. Most dangerous U.S. states in 2025, right? The safest. Let's go to the bottom 10. All right, so we'll start with. All right, it's Nevada, Texas, Tennessee, South Carolina, Alaska, Missouri, Oregon, Colorado, New Mexico, Arkansas, and Louisiana. It's really mixed. Maybe like a 6-4 Republican, but it's like historically these are. It's a lot. It's like it's really mixed.
Wait, is this from USA Facts?
No, it's from World Population Review.
Okay, wait.
It's really mixed.
Well, I was talking about specifically murder rate.
But murder rate is like very small, honestly. Like murder is really small. You have to go for all violent crime, and it's really mixed, right?
World Population Review, safest U.S. states in the U.S. 2025. Is that what you're looking at?
Yeah.
So, well, Illinois ranks 15th in safest. So the top safest, here's the safest ones. New Hampshire is blue. Maine is blue. Vermont is blue. Massachusetts is blue. New Jersey is blue. Connecticut is blue. Rhode Island is blue. Kentucky is red. Utah's red. And Hawaii is blue. So 8 out of 10 are
New
blue.
Jersey, that's crazy. I live in New
New
Jersey.
Jersey is blue.
No way. No way it's in the top 5. That is just not true.
Yeah.
Dude, have you
I'm
seen Camden?
surprised.
Have you seen Camden? Have you seen Birmingham? Have you seen any of these cities? No way.
Have I seen? I've seen Trenton.
Yeah, Trent is it's really bad. Let's say that. I just don't think that's true. I don't think that's true at all. Yeah,
I wouldn't
I don't
say
think
it's
that's
insane.
true.
Like all the safest states are in the Northeast, so I wouldn't say that's
I
crazy.
don't believe I can't wrap my hand around that New Jersey's in the top 5. I just don't. Did she
I'm honestly
Mickey Cheryl ran on a thing where crime was a big problem. She literally
like, and then
ran
you look.
Mickey
Well,
Cheryl ran.
is Mickey? Is that?
She's a
Is she a Republican?
no Democrat.
Oh, well, I don't know.
So
But
she's running and that crime is
Arkansas.
really bad.
Look at this. So I'm just looking at the map here. Let's go to the bottom 10. So it says Louisiana red, Arkansas red, New Mexico blue, Colorado red. Wait, was Colorado red this year? Yeah, Colorado was red.
Colorado's blue.
Is Colorado blue? Oh yeah. Oregon is blue, Missouri's red, Alaska is red, South Carolina is red, Tennessee is red, Texas is red, and Nevada was red.
That's the 4. You didn't count. It's Nevada, Texas, Tennessee, South Carolina, Alaska, Missouri, Oregon, New Mexico, Colorado.
Colorado, Arkansas, and Louisiana. We're looking at the same one.
Oh, okay, never mind. I messed up.
You're counting from 40th to 50th. I'm counting from 50th to 40th.
Okay.
So,
It's like
I mean, both states do tend to be more dangerous, but
all the most dangerous cities are blue. It's like you cannot compare.
right, but it's correlation causation because you're saying all the dangerous cities are blue.
I mean, that's more of a causation of these cities are blue.
You're saying all the dangerous cities are blue, but every city is blue. So then I could just say, well, all the safest cities are blue.
Not all cities are blue. What are you talking about? I don't think all cities are blue, but like still, you cannot put a thing on it. But also, like, it's weird that all these cities are ran by Democrats. If that's just weird to me.
City is ran by Democrats.
Huh?
Pretty much every city in the U.S. is ran by Democrats.
And when a Republican usually gets into office, like Giuliani,
because of social gravity theory.
But also, if you get guys like Giuliani in, he usually
well, you can't use one case in New York of a Republican getting into office as like and him cleaning it up as like a catch-all case. Like, do you think Chicago would be better off if they were elected a Republican mayor?
Yeah, I think you should change power when crime is really bad in that city.
Crime isn't bad in Chicago.
You don't think crime is bad in Chicago?
No.
That's crazy.
It isn't. It's ranked like safest cities in USA. Safest met areas.
Headlines? Have you seen any of the headlines? Like, look, here's like Chicago crime: man 23 shot dead in the North Side. Here, another one: woman charged with repeat burglaries, mail car theft, and mail.
I know. Did you see the video of the? Did you see the guy who set a lady on fire on the train?
Where was that? Was that in Chicago too?
Yeah, it was on the Blue Line.
Yeah.
Look it up.
It's it's a little weird that like
Pretty nuts.
yeah, I don't know
Yeah,
how
I mean, Chicago has a bit of crime, but it's not as
they have
bad
a
as
bit of crime, dude.
it's not
I
as bad
think
as Memphis.
3 people die a week in Chicago.
Huh?
How many people die a week by murder in Chicago?
I don't know. Not as many as Memphis. Memphis has a higher murder rate.
Like,
But even if they are blue cities, I don't think it would be. I think it's a little outlandish to say that it's just coincidence that they're all blue cities and red states.
why is it coincidence around all red states? Why is
Why?
it?
Why is it a Why
Why is
isn't it a coincidence?
I
Because
mean,
I think we can use our brains and say,
well,
well,
you just
maybe
said
there's
it was
something
red.
that's
You
going
just
on
said
the
it was red.
policy level.
You just wait. So the most dangerous states are in
Like
red states.
Republicans,
Like those red.
Republicans tend to regulate guns less.
Yeah.
And I'm not for gun regulation. I think the populace should be armed.
Oh, I agree. Okay, we agree. Okay, we agree with that. Okay.
Well, I'm saying that because I'm a very anti-government person, like
But how are you anti-government and
anti-capitalist
a
government.
socialist at the same time? Like that just doesn't make any sense.
Well, I'm anti-capitalist government because
But you're
in under capitalism,
anti-government. You're anti-government and you're a socialist. Like that is
yeah. Well, no,
both sounds like that sounds like a good government.
I'm anti-capitalist government.
But you're okay. But socialism results in a bigger government.
Yeah, but it's a
So
socialist state,
anti-government. How you anti-government?
which
What's
is different. I'm not anti-government across the board. I'm anti-government when it's a capitalist state because under capitalism, the government just ends up being controlled by the capitalists rather than actually elected officials.
I have a question. Do you think the United States would be ran better if it was fully socialist state?
We had a revolution tomorrow, and I think we would end up being better in the long term. Yeah, of
So why has
course.
any socialist
I wouldn't be a socialist if I didn't think that it would be better for the people.
why hasn't any socialist nation ever worked out?
How defined worked out.
Like made it I had prosperity pretty much. Like
Prosperity.
or has it collapsed and like did it never like collapse in like a way like for example USSR, right? That did not
Cuba's
like,
still around.
USSR is not around.
Huh?
USSR is not still around.
Cuba. I just said Cuba.
Cuba
Cuba's still around.
Cuba is in a mess right now.
Vietnam's still around.
Vietnam's a mix.
Well, Vietnam is a socialist state, but they have a small market economy because they're
But it's a mix. It's kind of a mix. It's not even
well
fully.
because during the Civil War when the U.S. came and intervened, they
Which
destroyed a lot
I
of their
don't agree with.
farm.
I don't agree with
They
that.
just
Yeah, it's really stupid.
they yeah no totally they destroyed a lot of their farm stuff, so their economy required a lot of time to recuperate, which the socialist government didn't account for. So now they're doing that catching up essentially now.
Well, I think they're good, but they're also like they're a mixed economy. Same with China, right? I feel like every social
Vietnam's like one of the cheapest places to live in the whole world.
yeah, because it's a mix. It's a mix of both. It's not just a fully socialist. Because
So then wouldn't you say that? So then wouldn't you just be a democratic socialist?
no, I don't think we should have both. I think we should have a more capitalist economy. But I think some socialism is fine because you need
Then if
something.
wait, so if it was determined that China has a better quality of life than the U.S., would you
Well,
be like
the
a
best quality of
democratic
life.
socialist?
'Cause I don't even think that's true. But even then, the best quality
Well,
of
China
life.
does
No,
have
no,
a
no,
better
no, let me
quality of
speak. Let me
life than
speak.
the U.S.
Let me speak. I think the best quality of life countries are actually capitalist, not capitalist, but more capitalist and socialist. For example, the Nordic countries are more capitalist and socialist, right?
But if you think the Nordic countries
They
have the
Nordic
best
countries are more,
quality of life and they're better than the U.S., then why wouldn't you just believe in the belief system that the Nordic countries run in their country?
man, I'm not purely capitalist. I'm more. I think I'm more. We're not purely capitalist.
Why wouldn't you be pro socialized healthcare like they have over there?
Because it can't work in the United States. I just told you. We already went at a whole debate on it. It cannot work in the United States. Too
Why?
many people.
I mean, I
Too
think
many
it can, but I
people.
mean that's a whole other thing that we can get back into on another day. But like, obviously, I'm a socialist because I think that it's better for the people. Because
Never
I think
worked. It's
like
never worked.
the main reason that I believe it. Let me open up my book here, State and Revolution. Awesome book. Uh, where's that one?
It's never worked ever. Marxist society has never worked. A social society, a fully purely social society has never worked. All right, it's never not collapsed. It's never been in prosperity. Never been the quality of life has been higher than capitalist nations. Never. It's never been like that. Right, where the people didn't have shortages on food. right? It's never. It's
Shortage in the USSR.
the USSR is a great example, but there's also more examples like Vietnam, not Vietnam,
The
Venezuela.
CIA. The CIA. Wait, hold
Venezuela.
up. I
What
want
about
to. I
Venezuela?
don't want you to.
Venezuela is
I
one of
don't
the
want you
most
to believe
richest.
anything that you shouldn't be, because the USSR didn't have a food shortage. The CIA themselves admitted
No,
that
no,
the
no,
USSR
no,
didn't
no,
have a
that's not
food
true.
shortage.
There was always food shortages in the USSR. There's always long ass bread
According to
lines.
who? According to who? Oh, that's
Britannica,
in Khrushchev. Wait,
Britannica,
the
Britannica
bread
said
lines,
that.
the
Britannica.
bread,
You know what
the bread
Britannica is?
lines. I'm
Britannica?
aware what in the Encyclopedia Britannica is, but Khrushchev completely destroyed
No,
what
this
the
was
USSR
before.
had going
This
for
was before.
When?
This was before. I think every decade there's always a food shortages. This is not even Gorbachev. This has just always been right. There's
I'm not
long
talking
bread
about
lines.
Gorbachev. I said
Even
Khrushchev.
even then, right? Even under Stalin, right? Even if we go back to Stalin ages, right? There's always shortages of food.
There was
Always.
food shortages under Stalin mainly because of like a very like unstable state, like kulaks who would burn crops because they didn't support the collectivization of the crops. There was like literally like that was the main reason that a lot of kulaks were executed or
Also,
deported.
because the socialist government, they cannot predict how many people need this like amount of thing produced. That's what a capitalist nation does. A capitalist nation could actually predict because there's like supply and demand. Also, what's the other thing I was gonna say? Supply and demand, and usually like profit and loss statements. When you have no profit,
Capitalism
right? When you're not like for example, if you buy too much food, right? If you're
ended
privatized,
online.
if you're a privatized company, you buy too much food, you'll lose money because you bought too much food. But if you buy under amount of food, you'll actually see like, okay, I need to buy more food. You know the perfect amount of food to buy, right? It's compared to that in a social station, you don't know because you're not going for profit. And you're not going for anything. That also the same with price control, right? Price control is horrible too. What every social station tries to do. That's why it's never worked out. You're basing your economic values on something that just never worked out in any nation.
Hang on. Uh oh. Here's the quote I was gonna say. Lenin said, "A democratic republic is the best possible political shell for capitalism, and therefore, once capital has gained possession of this very best shell, it establishes its power so securely, so firmly that no change of persons, institutions, or parties in the bourgeois democratic republic can shake it." This essentially, he's talking about how, like, a good example of this would be how our representatives are prone to lobbying. Like,
Okay. Yeah, I agree with lobbying, but it's just okay.
well, but that's just part of capitalism.
How is that part of capitalism, or is that just a republic?
Like, no, like a democratic republic.
But how is that capitalism?
Like America is a democratic republic. Like in terms of
Okay,
our
I
like
get it. I get it.
elections,
How is that
right?
capitalist?
So
How is that capitalist? But
so
that they're
he
taking
was
money
talking about
from lobbying.
how capital. Well, because under socialism there is no lobbying because there is no private corporations.
Okay. Yeah, they're taking okay. We have to take foreign money too. What about foreign money? Is there even like a? I mean, actually, you can't even use it because most socialist nations are authoritarian. Honestly,
Okay. Did the
there's no
USSR
profit.
not have a govern? Did the
Yeah,
USSR not have a governing body?
were they all dictators? Yes,
No, the USSR.
but
There was
Stalin
things
not.
that there was things that Stalin wanted to do that they
But
didn't
Stalin,
allow
you don't
him
think
to
Stalin
do.
was a
Right?
dictator? You don't think Stalin was a dictator?
I think no. I don't think Stalin was a dictator. I think if you think Stalin was a dictator, you've fallen victim to CIA propaganda.
Oh, Stalin a dictator. Let's see. Let's search it up.
Is Stalin a dictator?
Yeah, Stalin
This,
is a dictator. What are
let
you
me
talking about?
Google this and not do any more extensive
There's no source
research.
that agrees with you, buddy. It's Britannica, history.com, it's History Extra, BBC,
How would you
History
define a
Crime,
dictator?
huh? Like pretty
How
much.
would you define
I
a
don't have a good
dictator?
definition because I don't know the
Okay,
base.
so look, I think Stalin was definitely there was definitely a lot of things that he did that I didn't like. But that aside, he was dealing with a lot of stuff at one time, like World War
Do you think he
II.
was a good person? Do you think he was a
Like
good person?
Under Stalin's rule, the USSR went from a a very like underdeveloped nation to
Do you think he
beating
was
the
a good leader?
Nazis in
Don't tell
World
me he
War
was a good
II.
leader. You cannot tell me he was a good leader.
I think he was. I don't think he was a I think he was an all right leader. I
He's
don't think
not
he
an
was
all
a
right
great
leader when
leader.
he killed 20 million people. I think more. He killed 30 million
20,
people. He
20
put people
million.
in forced labor camps besides gulags. You
Gugu,
cannot tell me he's a
Gugu
good
told
person.
me
You cannot tell me he's a good person or a good leader.
just, huh?
You cannot tell me he's a
But
good leader when
what did he do? How did he kill 20 million people?
gulag,
How did
gulag.
okay?
You think putting people to forced labor is good at all?
So he killed 20 million people, but the population of the USSR never went down. It only increased
I mean, I don't know if that's true or not.
on a year-to-year basis. Wait, on a year-to-year basis, every year of the USSR's existence, except after World War II, like excluding the 5 years of World War II, or the five or
Well, I can say the
was it
same thing about.
7?
I can say the same thing about what's his name? Hitler. Hitler
Hitler?
did
Well,
Germany
Hitler.
did Germany
That was
tell
because his campaign didn't his campaign did decrease the Jewish population in Europe. Yeah,
I think population probably did go down in some way, right?
he
I mean,
decreased the Jewish population in
but did
Europe by 6 million.
they overall go down? No, I don't think it did.
Yeah,
No, I don't think it did. I don't think it
the
did. Killed like 6 million people. I believe it was 11 to 12 million. I don't. I think it was 6 million, but
let
once
me.
again,
I mean, we can just Google this,
how many people did Stalin kill? You don't believe he killed 20 million people?
huh?
How many? Okay, you said 20 million people. Here. Estimates suggest that Stalin regime resulted in 20 to 60 million people dead, including
Jewish remaining
mass
Jewish population. Wait,
education.
hold up.
You like the fact that you could call
Approximately.
Stalin
Wait,
all right leader is crazy.
hang on. Approximately 9.5 million Jews lived in Europe in 1933, the year Hitler came to power. This number represented 1.7% of Europe's total population and more than 60% of the world's Jewish population. By 1945, most European Jews, 2 out of every 3, had been killed.
Yeah,
So
so
the Jewish population did decrease. So then why did the population of the USSR not decrease on a year-to-year basis any year before or after World War II if he killed like 20 million people?
I mean, just because the birth
If
rates
you
are high.
kill 20
Were birth rates high?
million people,
Were birth rates high?
were birth rates high?
How high
I'm
are
not
birth rates?
sure. Wait.
If birth rates are high, it kind of equals out. But it's dude, he had mass executions, famine, and forced labor. It's 20 to 60 million people. You cannot defend that.
Births rising from 1.7 per woman in 1943 to around 2.8 by
Yeah, that
1955.
kind of offsets
That's
it.
not enough. That's
That
not
does.
enough
That
to make
does.
up 20 million people.
Yeah, it does.
And even then, if he
It
kills
does.
20 million people, if he hang on.
If every woman has two, it's,
Okay. So we're saying if he kills 20 million people, wouldn't that include women and wouldn't birth rates go down as well?
I mean, let's just estimate that every woman had two babies, right? Just say that, right?
So if
Right. Just say that two, right? How many people had babies? I don't know, but that probably equals out over 20 years.
so
That does equal out. Depends how many people are having babies, and every woman. You said every woman had 1 to 2 babies.
it
Like
was,
that
I
equals
believe it
out.
was 2.8, but
That equals
the if
out. That
he
equals out. That 100% equals out.
how many women were there in the USSR? What was the population of women in the USSR?
That's. I mean,
So okay, here's the population. So in the year Stalin took power, I believe Stalin took power in 1930 something,
33 or 32.
33. So the population of the USSR in 1937 was 162 million. The population in 1939 was 170 million. The population in 1940 was 194 million. After the war in 1950, it was 178 million, and then in 1959 it was 208 million, and then Stalin died in 1955. So
Okay. So
how does
are you
he
denying that he killed 20 to 60 million people?
I'm saying how does he kill 20 million people if the population only went up?
I mean, I can't explain. I'm just going off the statistics say, and that's because of mass executions and forced labor. That's what I'm saying. All right, and that's that. I'm going off all the sources say. and all the sources say he's a dictator, and all the sources say he was not a good leader. I don't know where you're getting this from.
But these sources are from where?
I mean, you're calling Britannica biased source?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just speculation, dude. You cannot defend that. What
I can.
what about history?
I totally can.
What about history? What about history.com or Wikipedia or any other source?
History.com. Who
History.com?
owns History.com?
I don't know. What's a
Who
non-biased
owns?
source to you? I don't understand what's a non-biased source to you.
I would say you should look in the Soviet archives.
What about New York Times? What about
Who owns the
University? What
History
about the
Channel?
University of Hawaii
A
system? What about
A
International
and E
Business House?
Networks. Hang on. Who owns? Well, at the end of the day, all of these companies are going to be owned by capitalists, so they
It
inherently have an
doesn't
anti-communist
matter. They're
bias.
not biased. They literally
How would they not be?
because
How would they not be biased?
what's going on? What's right? It's
Wait, if a
true.
person's incentive is to profit, wait, if a person's incentive,
you're saying it's biased because it goes against what you believe, right?
no, if a person has an
we all don't
incentive,
like being
hang on,
wrong, but
can I
you're
explain?
wrong on this. You're wrong.
Can I explain? Can I explain?
Go explain.
If a person has an incentive to profit off of capital, obviously they are going to be biased towards the system that allows them to profit off of that capital to the highest degree. Is that correct?
Dude. Okay. What?
Can you answer yes or no? Just yes or no.
How
Just
do they
yes or
make
no.
how would they make profit if they're biased towards capitalism?
What do you mean?
How do they make profit?
By people buying their goods or services?
What goods or services are they selling?
Like A&E Networks that owns the History Channel?
Okay. What about Britannica?
Britannica? Britannica makes money off of ads on their site?
Okay, so how does that result in them being biased when when most of the time they're actually not biased, they're actually a credible source?
The Encyclopedia Britannica is actually owned by one guy, Jacob E. Safra.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. Wait.
So
Now let me
why
look up
does
this
it
guy.
listen, you could say that like because it goes against your belief.
Jacob Safra? Jacob Safra, I'm sure Encyclopedia Britannica is not biased at all. Jacob Safra is a Syrian banker and patriarch of the Safra family. A banker.
Even then,
I'm sure he has no anti-communist bias.
Okay. How about this? Why does every single website tell it the same? It was 20 to 60 million.
Why?
People. Yeah. Why is every single source? Every single source. You will not find one source.
Because the majority of them are either indoctrinated or if you find an independent source, they're usually indoctrinated or like lied to by propaganda.
Or indoctrinated, maybe because you're just wrong.
Or hear me out. Or they are owned by a company that seeks to profit off of capital. So therefore they will be biased towards the system.
Any source then? How can you trust any source then?
I would go look at the Soviet archives.
How do you know the Soviet archives aren't biased?
How do I know the Soviet archives aren't biased? Because they weren't because they were the documents that weren't intended to be released by the Soviet Union. So they are all the raw records of what they have in terms of population and camps and all that.
So you think that everybody here got it wrong, and then everybody. What is
because they have an inherent they have an inherent pro-capital bias. Because they seek to profit off of capital.
But why would they say 20 million? Why do you have to say 20 million people died under Stalin? Why would they say that? If he did it, why would they have to lie about that? Well, who cares?
They have to lie about. I'm not saying they lied about people dying. I think Stalin definitely killed people, but I'm not saying he. I don't think he killed. Stalin definitely killed a large amount of people, but it wasn't anywhere near 20 million.
Do you have any evidence for that?
It's probably closer to like 5. Yeah.
Do you have any evidence for that? That goes against all the sources that's on the website, on the Google, on the and anything. Right? It's a little weird.
Hang on.
He was a dictator and
the declassified Soviet archives. These are declassified So these weren't intended to be released publicly ever, but this was declassified after the Soviet Union was um dissolved. Declassified Soviet archives indicate a minimum of 3.3 million officially recorded deaths.
Minimum.
So up to 6 million. So 3 to 6 million people.
So where? Okay, so then where's everyone getting 20 million? That's the big one. How do you know the Soviet
20
archives are
million, it
true?
usually comes from them including all of the Soviet soldiers who died in
I
World
don't
War
think
II.
they. I don't think they really do. I don't think that's true.
Can you find one that gives you like a record of every like one and how they died?
Does the Soviet archive? I don't think the Soviet archives do that either.
The Soviet archive says 3 to 6 million.
It
Like
says right here.
declassified
I mean,
records, they say
most estimates suggest, most historians suggest that 6 to 20 million. Like that's
6 to 20.
6 to 20.
Well, 6 to 20, it says 6 to 20. That's such a large jump because some
Well,
people
the
may or
minimum
may
is
not
6. That's a
include.
lot of people. That's a lot of people. 6 billion people is a lot of people.
6 isn't
And
6 is
then
the
some
minimum.
historians believe it's
3
it's
well,
higher than 60.
one could purport that 20 million people is nothing compared to how many people have died under capitalism, but
Well, capitalism has been around way longer,
yeah,
right?
no, capitalism has been around longer,
By
but
a
a
lot.
large majority, yeah, by a lot, but eh,
But let's
like
get back to the original
colonialism,
argument. Let's get back to the original argument, right? Because listen,
yeah.
Stalin killed a lot of people. Like even with the story archives, he's 3
Oh,
million
yeah, for
people.
sure. I
Like,
think Stalin killed a lot of people, but I don't think you could say that all of them were unjustified.
I mean, is what's justified for killing somebody? Let's tell me. I'm pro death
Like,
penalty.
what's
I'm
just like a lot of the people he executed were like,
against his
what
rule.
was it?
Were they Christians?
No,
He killed a lot of Christians too.
20 billion Christians.
Yeah,
Wow.
he killed a lot of Christians. He killed a lot of people that just when he gets his I mean, there's a lot of
Did he
stories.
kill 20 billion Christians?
No,
20,
I
or
gotta say he
not
killed
20
a
billion.
lot of Christians though, and he also
Did he
or
kill the Christians for being Christian, or did
yeah,
he kill them and they
there's a
happened
lot
to
of
be
religious
Christian?
persecution in him. There's like
Well,
little
religion
stories.
was allowed in the Soviet Union.
I have stories from people that that came to the United States and they had horror stories of like what of them being Christian and having to hide
Well,
from Stalin.
religion was allowed in the Soviet Union. It was written into its constitution that religion is
Yeah,
allowed.
did Stalin persecute religion? I'm telling you, it's like.
You can't just get all of your sources from Google. I just want you to
And
know
then where
this.
else do you get it from? There's
Where else do you
martyrs.
get it from? Well,
There's
I'm saying you
Orthodox.
can find your sources on Google, but you shouldn't just be Googling stuff. You should be going more
Yeah,
in
I
depth.
could tell you this. There's a lot of Orthodox saints, a lot of Catholic saints that died under Stalin,
Okay.
and they're martyrs.
All right. Wait, hold up. We can finish this a different day. My dad wants me to go eat now.
All right, see.
All right, see ya.
Jeez.